out ahead of this tornado emergency. Now you've been upgraded to a tornado emergency. Okay. This is the only tornado storm that's going on right now. All right. So I'm not going to zoom out. I'm not going to focus on anybody else. We're going to get these guys through this storm here. And then we'll start talking about other places. But this is, this right here is where the tornado is. Once again, one of the most impressive signatures you will ever see on radar for a tornado here. It's still lofting debris into the air. And we're hearing all kinds of crazy stories and news updates about what's happening here. I'm going to relay those soon. But first, I've got to keep you updated on where this thing's going next. Let's see here. Okay. Goodness, there is so much going on here. This is just above Prattville and close to Pine Level, Alabama. Look at that thing. There is a lot. Unfortunately, a whole lot of just terrible damage pictures and reports coming in. Holy smokes. And we'll get to that right here in a second. But first, I know we got a lot of new people pouring in. We got people sharing this all over. I really do appreciate you guys helping me get this information out. It's life-saving information that could really help people out if they don't have some other adequate way of getting it. I just want to reiterate that right now we have a tornado emergency for Chilton County, Coosa County, and Elmore County, Alabama. Did you just hear your county name? Get to shelter, all right, because we have a life-threatening tornado of the likes that we don't usually see happening right now in Alabama. And it's right now near Wadsworth, and it's going to continue to move up towards Lightwood, all right, within the next little bit. I've been doing my best to try to call out these town names and give you a heads up, but really at this point, we just need to be going by county. If your county is under a tornado emergency right now, this is one of the few times that will happen in your whole life. So, like, don't worry about exactly where the tornado is. Just get to shelter. Get to shelter if your county is in that tornado emergency. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. This is, I mean, definitely, I did not expect this to happen today. And the storm is hitting here now. We can hear the winds roaring outside at the studio. We are nowhere near any tornadoes, so don't worry about us. We don't have to take shelter, but we might lose power. Very small chance, but just be wary of that. Still a big tornado down on the ground here south of Marbury. All right, this is where it is. That's where the tornado is right now. It's south of Marbury, and it's moving up towards Lightwood. It's getting ready to cross Highway 143. Highway 143, that's where it's going right now. Yeah, we got a 27-mile-an-hour wind gust there, and it sounds like maybe some small hail. You can hear it on the roof a little bit. Here's that graphic information on that tornado emergency. This is a life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now if you're in Marbury, Alabama, or anywhere near it. This is a life-threatening situation. Seek shelter now. Just absolutely astonishing what we just saw happen here. That right there is one of the craziest things you'll ever see. And it's not over yet. It's not over yet. This thing is still producing an insane amount of rotation. It's still lifting debris. Who knows how long this will last? Honestly, we could see this go. We could see this storm be a problem all the way up into the edge of the warning there, up near Alexander City. So I just really hope everybody is respecting the polygon, in the words of James Spann there, and getting in their safe spots. It'll be in Lightwood now within a couple of minutes. Lightwood, Alabama, you got to run, not walk to shelter. TYB time, thank you. I appreciate all the support, y'all. I'm just watching the information flow in here. All right, here's a video. From Bama Box. This is from Bama Box. This is one of the several videos that I'm seeing of the tornado. Bama Box. By the way, I'm going to retweet this on Twitter if you want to see this up close. This was just before it went through. I believe this was when the tornado was near Joffrey and Independence and down there near where Brad Arnold and them were. I think this was before it actually got to its biggest point. But just look at how massive the storm is overall. Like, this is something that you really rarely see, and the fact that we're seeing it in January is even crazier. Yeah, this was actually well before it wedged out and produced the tornado emergency. That's when it was forming right there. So that is just an unbelievable picture from Bama Box. And I'm retweeting it. Right now, this is where the tornado is. To the south and east of Mountain Creek. It's still moving up to the north and east. The good news is right now is that it's in a little bit more of a rural area. So there's not a lot of things. There's not a lot of houses and stuff out here. I can show you a little bit better about what exactly we're looking at here on this radar. It is going through Lightwood, but once it gets past Lightwood, there's a good 5-10 minutes or so of it going over the Coosa River, where hopefully it'll die out before it gets to Willona and Titus, but we can't assume that that's going to happen. All right, we have to assume that this is going to continue to produce a damaging tornado as it goes all the way up towards Pentonville. All right, so right now, Lightwood, Alabama is experiencing a large tornado, and that is going to continue to be a problem for the next several minutes. Once it gets past Lightwood, then Willona and Weoka Mills are next in line. We've got, what is this? Brad Arnold is close behind, but he's just not there yet. He's not caught up to the storm just yet. Really, like, incredibly honorable thing that Brad and those guys did, just pausing their storm chase to go help those people in that house. But that did put them behind the storm a little bit, which honestly is probably a good thing, because people in the path of destruction are probably going to need a lot of help over the next little bit. Wow, this was just a monster, y'all. Severe thunderstorm warning, considerable severe thunderstorm warning for Elmore County, Alabama. This is that big tornado that we saw from Brad Arnold earlier live on stream. This is the same one that hit Selma. This is the same one that we're talking about now. This has been a long-lived storm that has produced several deadly tornadoes today, and it doesn't look like it's done yet. It's still moving on. It's still continuing to be impressive as far as rotation goes. It still looks like there's a tornado debris signature. What we can hope happens, however, is that this bows out. Remember the backwards C shape. If we see more of a bowing kind of segment here, then the tornado threat's going to go down quite a bit, and the damaging wind threat is going to go up. But I'm just hoping we see something like that, and we don't have to worry about the tornado as much. But man, it's not happening right now. We still have a very dangerous tornado on the ground right here to the east of Mountain Creek. So we got to stay sheltered. See what the best, there we go. So it just went past Lightwood. Now it's going over the road between Titus and Willona. Titus Road there. It's going over Titus Road. This big tornado is going to continue to go towards Speed and go over Highway 231 now within the next couple of minutes. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, just to reinforce the power of this tornado, if you look at the correlation coefficient product, to the north of the circulation, all around Goodwater, Alexander City, that's all debris fallout. So you can see just debris from when it was hitting Selma, just scattered all in the forward flank downdraft of this storm. All and it's like the entire forward flank of the supercell is all just debris fallout that you can see there. If that serves as another stimulus, maybe for you to take action, then so be it. That is literally the debris from the previous tornado that you're seeing on radar now, and now we have debris lofted from the current tornado that is still on the ground, ongoing, approaching Highway 231, going north south, south of Rockford, Alabama. Currently, so we're going to continue to see debris well through the storm, thousands of feet up, and being spread to the north and east as the storm travels that direction.
All right.
So zoom out, Ryan, and show that just that amount of blues and greens. That's all debris in the forward flank.
All right. Thank you, Andy. We're going to switch over to this to really emphasize that. Wow. Holy smokes. Yeah. So, wow. So this is a lot of the debris that was picked up around Selma. I want you to watch. Andy just did a great job explaining this. I had to go fix something, or I would have kept up while he was doing it. But so the tornado went through Selma, picked up tons of debris, flung it 20,000 feet into the air, and then you can literally see it transfer up into the forward flank of the storm. Look at this. This is pieces of Selma in the sky, all the way up here, miles away. Oh my God. Look at that up here. You can still see it there. That is something that I think the last time we saw anything even close to that was Mayfield. That is nuts. So we saw the storm pick up debris near Selma, throw it up into the sky, and now it's literally, there's pieces of Selma and all this debris is just still up here in the forward flank of the storm. That is just something that you really rarely see. You really rarely see anything like that. If you're just now tuning in, we do still have a tornado emergency for Coosa in Elmore County, Alabama. As it does look like this tornado is still down. It's picking up new debris here and moving up towards Rockford and eventually Alexander City. Let me give you a sorry, a more up close look here. Once again, the tornado's here. It's getting ready to go through Speed and Buick in Alabama. It's going to cross Highway 231 right here. And then beyond that, it's going to go to Nicksburg and then Ray. All right, so this is where the tornado is right now. You can still see the very classic shape and size of the supercell. Yeah, I hope it's over soon. I hope that by the time this thing gets out of the tornado emergency box, that this thing is done. But unfortunately, today is the day of things that shouldn't happen happening. So that's what we're dealing with there. Still waiting to hear on more, I guess, news and information out of Selma. So far, we're just hearing that we've got very significant damage. And of course, we do have this live feed from Ryan Carty in Selma of some of the damage there. So he was in Selma while this was happening. And he's stayed there ever since. So I'm assuming he's helping out. But we'll keep an eye on that. And yes, we do have Storm Chaser Chris Hall. You see Storm Chaser Chris Hall is in Perry County, Kentucky. I believe he's either on his way home or he just visited his home and then he's going to leave and go south. So we're sending some of our storm chasers to go help. Well, if you're new here, we do this thing where the y'all squad shows up, and we're going to try to fill up some trailers, or we're going to try to do something to help out down there in Selma, because in situations like this, we always have people that are watching and people that are helping us out on the ground that are in the area and can immediately go help. So we're in the process of working that out right now as well. So thank you all for your generosity and allowing me to do stuff like that. I hope we can do at least a little something to help people out down there. I don't know what exactly that entails just yet, but we are going to try to do something. Michelle, thank you so much for becoming a slight risker. So we very likely have an EF3 or higher tornado ongoing in Otaga County, Alabama. The discrete supercell will be absorbed by the squall line and pose a damaging wind threat even after the tornado threat lessens. Well, that was an official mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. Even they are saying that this is likely an EF3 or higher tornado here. And it's just now getting ready to cross the road between Speed and Buick in Alabama. And I hope that that's the last that we have to deal with it. This supercell is getting ready to get completely obliterated by the line. So that's great news. That's fantastic news. When that happens, the tornado threat should go down substantially. Yeah, we should probably start looking for hotels for Chris around Selma. Doesn't have to be in Selma, but yeah. And Chad, if Chad can hear me right now, we let's just do a sticker. Let's do a sticker. I think we're going to need it. Yeah, I may go down there myself. We don't have. I think Chris is obviously going to be down there to help. I don't know.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We'll ask around and see if any of the other chasers want to do anything as well. But for something like this, I think that I'll try to make arrangements to go. All right, let's get links to that in the chat, guys. So, you know what? I'm not going to pull the graphic up on the screen because we want to continue to cover this warning. But a lot of you are sending super chats right now through YouTube. If you want to help us go down there and deliver supplies and help people in Selma, please consider doing it through our website, shopryanhall.com. There's a big sticker at the top of the page. You can pick your price, and all the profit from that sticker is going to go towards our relief efforts. Okay. The super chats and all that stuff is appreciated. It's just like YouTube takes a certain, amount of that, and like it's just easier for us to keep up with it on the website. So shopryanhall.com. The mods are going to put links in the description. Get you a sticker, pick your price. We're going to take all the profit from that, and we're going to hopefully go down there with tens of thousands of dollars and do what we can for the people of Selma. If you're just now tuning in, what we are doing is we are covering this catastrophic storm that just went through Selma, Alabama. It looks like it's letting up. It looks like it's trying to let up. It's trying to, but it's not being very it's not being very successful at doing that because actually right here at the last minute, it looks like it's ramped up once again. We've got a big debris ball here. We've got a tornado debris signature in it. So it still looks like this thing is on the ground. So at no point until this tornado emergency is allowed to be expired, at no point should anybody come out of their safe spot. I'm just hoping for the best here. I am hoping for the best as this is going to end at some point. It's just not right now. Look at that progression on that, man. I mean, this is insane. Right there it is. Thankfully, it's in a pretty rural area right now, but some of the places that are in the direct path of this thing, still a big giant tornado on the ground coming for you in Nicksburg, Equality, and Cottage Grove in Alabama. This just went past Speed. It's halfway between Speed and Nicksburg right now. It's going to cross over Highway 9 soon. Okay, this is going to happen very soon. So make sure you're ready for that out there near Nicksburg in the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. Hopefully you're already in your safe spot. There's really no excuse for anybody to not be in their safe spot right now. We have been talking about this storm since before there was even a tornado warning for it. Andy brought it to our attention, and we followed it every step of the way. You've known this is coming for a while, hopefully, if you've been watching. If you haven't got to your safe spot yet, you've got to go now. If you're in Nicksburg or Ray, remember, we do have a tornado emergency for Coosa County, Alabama, which is the highest level tornado warning that can possibly be issued. And it only happens in very seldom cases where we are expecting catastrophic damage. And my phone is going nuts. And my team is telling me there's currently about 800 of you on the site. Thank you.
A new tornado emergency.
And now we have a new tornado emergency for Tallapoosa, Tallapoosa County in Alabama. So that's going to be an extension of our current warning. Oh, man. All the way out now to Alexander City, Jackson's Gap, Daviston, all the way out there. We have a tornado emergency that continues to go on. This is not over yet. The squall line is trying The squall line is trying to overtake the supercell. And whenever that happens, the tornado threat is going to decrease dramatically. Okay. But right now, it's not. It's only amplifying it. Look at how much more rotation we have here. We still have new debris being lofted up into the air. This is a large, damaging, destructive tornado on the ground still. It's been on the ground for a while. I mean, this is something that, like, it's still kind of all, like, hitting me. Like, this is crazy what's just happened. This has been on the ground pretty much the whole time, or at least intermittently, from before Selma all the way up to where it is right now. This is a long track violent tornado. It's not done yet. Alexander City, Jackson Gap, and Davidson, please take shelter now, as an extremely, extremely dangerous situation is unfolding here. Sheila, thank you so much for the support. I don't want to talk too much details about our relief thing until we have a more solid idea of what we're doing. But Chris Hall did just text me, and he said, "I'm on my way. I didn't even pack clothes." So he's going to be there before I am, and he'll be able to make it, talk to the right people, get in touch with emergency management, so that whenever I show up and the y'all squad shows up, we'll be able to just boom, 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 help people, get supplies to them. And like, we're very grateful to have Chris for that very reason. But seriously, thank you to everybody who's helping us do that. Right now, we still have a tornado on the ground here near Nicksburg. It's just south of Nicksburg. It's going to parallel Highway 22 up to Elkahatchee Heights and then Elkahatchee Park. Before that, it'll cross over Fish Pond. All right. Very large, damaging, violent tornado here that's getting ready to go across Highway 259 into Fish Pond. It's south of Nicksburg right now. If you are in Alexander City, Tohopeka, New Site, or Davidson, or Hampton, or Denver in Alabama, you've got to seek shelter now. This is now listen, Alabama, you guys are used to tornadoes. You know about them. You've been through tornadoes before. This is not a normal one. Okay, this is kind of like, this is upper echelon even for Alabama tornadoes. So you've got to take this one seriously. Your life is in danger, especially if you're in some place like Fish Pond, Alabama right now. You cannot accidentally survive this. You have to try. So you've got to run, not walk to shelter, and barricade yourself with as many walls between you and the outside world as possible, preferably ground too. You want to get underground, but I know a lot of us don't have basements. So if you don't have a basement, get into that interior closet, grab the mattress off the bed, grab the helmet, put it on, and brace for impact. Keep me with you. Keep me with you. And we'll get through this. We'll get through it. Some damage coming in from around Selma. This is from Deborah Brown. Oh, man. Yeah, you can see that in the distance there that there was some very significant damage to the downtown area of Selma. We'll try to full screen that. You can see it a little bit better. So it's hard to tell exactly which part of the town took a direct hit, but you can see that some parts are all right. I mean, obviously there's damage here, but if you look in the distance there beyond the woman in the yellow shirt, I think that's probably where the bulk of the storm went. Yeah, look at that. So very significant damage here in Selma. And we're just hearing about more of it as time goes on. My team is telling me extensive damage reports are coming in out of Prattville in Autauga County. 18-wheelers and trailer homes are turned over. People walking in the streets. Avoid County Road 31 and 68. So avoid County Roads 31 and 68. Extensive damage. Now that's Prattville. So this is obviously this is still causing tons of problems even after it's gotten past, um, Selma. So obviously this has been a damaging tornado this entire time. The unfortunate reality is that when this is over and all the rain clears out behind here, I think that we're just going to hear about one of the worst paths of destruction from a tornado that we've seen in a very long time. Just from what I've seen from radar. Now, the good news is, I think that for a good majority of the path of the tornado, it was completely over like very rural land. But anytime it came into contact with a community, it's destroyed it. This is just moments ago. This photo is from Richard Tanton. Shoot, man. It shows apparent tornado in Atauga County. Fire officials report injuries and damage along County Roads 43 and 68. Please avoid the area. My goodness. Yeah, that's huge. That is a big one. The tornado was lofting up debris up to 25,000 feet in the air as it was entering the Alexander, or pretty much right now, still to this moment. It's 25,000 feet into the air. So this thing is still, I mean, it's huge. It's destroying homes. It's destroying the forests out here. I just hope that people near Fish Pond and Elkahatchee Heights are aware of the situation. Every single soul in the path of this needs to understand the gravity of what's happening here. Go ahead, Andy.
Hi, Ryan. Lots of impatient people in chat right now for the Macon storm. I would say right now, you guys, we're not focusing on that because there is no imminent tornadic threat uh, that we can see on the radar. However, you are in a tornado warning, so you should know the first thing you do when you receive a tornado warning on your phone is to take us with you, but go in the basement and wait for further news on this storm. So because we haven't updated you on something yet, that's a good thing that nothing extreme is happening with this storm that we need to tell you imminently. But we do have many eyes on this storm right now. So rest assured, we're going to let you know the moment something noteworthy does happen.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah, guys, there's so many people involved with this. Like every emergency management office in these states are watching us right now. The police departments, fire departments, and of course we've got Andy and we've got other meteorologists helping us out in the background. We're not ignoring you. We're paying attention. As soon as something that's relevant pops up, we are going to relay that information. But we have once every couple years historic giant tornado on the ground out here in Alabama that we have to cover. We have to stick with this because there are people in the path, believe it or not, that are still unaware, more than likely, of what's going on here and the exact gravity of the situation. So if you are one of those people and you just now tuned in and you're in Alexander City, Alabama, Lake Hill Estates, Tohopeka, Sessions, Easton, any of these places in Alabama, you've got to get to shelter quickly. This is a tornado on the ground that has produced catastrophic damage in some areas. It's definitely caused some significant damage in Selma, and it's going to continue to do so until the squall line completely eats it up, and that hasn't happened yet. So we need you to take shelter in Alexander City, Lake Hill Estates, and Sessions and Easton. It's important to remember, too, that even when the tornado does get erased, whenever that stops being a problem, The damaging winds are going to continue to be a problem for a while with this storm. Okay, it's not just going to end. It's not just going to stop. It's going to continue to be a problem. So this is going to be a line of storms that we have to watch closely through the rest of the time that it's in Alabama, pretty much. I'm just hoping to goodness that this little curl right here gets bowed out, because that'll be one of the first signs that we're exiting the tornadic period of the storm. But it's looking like it's not going to happen anytime soon. So Alexander City, Lake Hill Estates, Piney Point, take shelter now. In the immediate path of this thing, right here's the tornado. Right here's Mount Zion. You guys have got a minute or so before it gets to you. Then it's going to go to White Oak Landing and Greenbrier. You got a couple more minutes on top of that. So please take shelter now. This is one of the more dangerous situations that you'll ever find yourself in. And we'll get through it to make sure you're taking shelter. Protect your head. Brad Arnold is saying that he's finding sheet metal in the road 20 miles north of where the tornado crossed. Let me repeat that. Brad Arnold is saying he's finding sheet metal in the road 20 miles north of where the tornado crossed. Let's see if we can't get an update from him. Hey, Brad, we've got you pulled up, and we just saw your tweet about the sheet metal. Can you just kind of give us a rundown on what you've been seeing and what's going on out there?
Yeah, Ryan. So at one point, we were probably about 15 to 20 miles north of where the main circulation crossed to the south of me. There were branches that were on the ground. There were a couple trees that we were able to get around. I think that was mainly from the straight line winds. But I've seen about 5 to 10 times where there have been large chunks of sheet metal from people's roofs, and not in just one spot. So it wasn't just a damaging wind event, but it was across multiple areas, just kind of sporadic areas. So that tells me that this thing is lofting debris very, very high up into the air, and the debris field on this thing is massive, Ryan.
All right. So yeah, unfortunately, I do think like Selma obviously took a direct hit, and there's a lot of damage there.
As far as my plan goes, I am trying to get to just stop the road. I'm trying to get to Alexander City because that's a pretty populated area.
Okay. All right, this is Chase Goldman. Some more damage there from Movico, Alabama. I didn't realize Brad was in the #1 spot. Sorry about that. Yeah, so significant damage coming in. Brad Arnold is seeing debris rain down out of the clouds 20 miles away from where the tornado hit. So whenever that happens, you just know that it's one of the really bad ones. Once again, EF3 or higher, more than likely higher than EF3 once the damage is surveyed. There's a lot of areas that this hit. I can't tell you how many different town names that we called out during this stream that I haven't heard anything from yet. Let's follow this thing back here. So obviously, we'll start around Selma. It hit Selma. We know about that. We know what happened there. We've heard about that. It hit Burnsville. I don't know if we've heard anything from Burnsville yet. Then it got huge. It got absolutely humongous. Went between Booth and Mountain Creek. This is where we got a report saying that damage was reported along 68 in the area of US 31. This is where we got a report that there were like people walking around in the streets and like people's houses were destroyed and stuff here and injuries. We continued to see a very large damaging tornado all the way up into the Lightwood area. We got a report of a tornado observed crossing Lightwood Road. Heavy damage was reported. And then, of course, we continued to see this tornado all the way up into where Brad Arnold is right now. And then eventually, it just the most recent radar scan that we've got was from Alexander City, or just south of Alexander City, and it still looks like there's a tornado down there as this thing is trying to stop. It's trying to be done, but it is not done yet. Holy smokes. Seriously, it's something that a storm like this is something that you don't see very often. This will be one that is talked about for a long time. My goodness. And once again, and if anybody's just now tuning in, I really want to point this out again to show the significance of what happened here. The tornado, probably at one of its moments of peak intensity, hit around Selma, picked up a bunch of debris, right? So this blue ball here, this dot, this is debris in the air. That's how we know that there's a tornado there without even seeing it with our own eyes. So if I push this forward, watch what happens. The tornado sucked up that debris, lofted it up 20,000 feet in the air. And then look, this is the whole supercell, right? This is the whole storm. This is the bottom of it. And this is like the top of it. Whenever you're looking at a radar image, you're looking at a 2D slice of a 3D reality. So like, it's hard to explain, but like, this is the base of the storm where the tornado is, and this is like up at the top of the storm. If you were in Montgomery looking at the storm, you would see the top of it over here, right? So anyways, what's happening is the tornado lofted that debris up into the air, and now we're starting to see it on the correlation coefficient up here in the supercell, and watch it take the shape of the supercell. Like all this blue and yellow and orange and stuff up here is pieces of Selma, Alabama, and you know, like pieces of the forest around it in the air, in the sky, falling in and around Alexander City. And look, it's still there, by the way. Selma got hit, I don't even know how long ago, an hour ago or more, and pieces of that debris are still in the sky up here near Wedowee. Like this is, that is, I mean, if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. And then, of course, whenever the tornado picked up again and really became another monster here, we're seeing a new debris field kind of forming here. So this is the debris from Selma, and this is some of the new debris that's popping up right here. So it's literally not only is it like storming, it's getting ready to storm pretty bad in New Site and Wadley and Roanoke in Alabama. It's probably going to rain debris to some extent. Like Brad was saying, he saw sheet metal laying in the road 20 miles north of where the tornado hit. So that was, who knows where that came from. Absolutely nuts. Latest update on our tornado here. We still have a tornado. Well, actually, the tornado emergency is gone now. We now have a PDS tornado warning for Tallapoosa County in Alabama. As we still have a tornado here, I believe. We still have a tornado doing damage. It's going between Alexander City and Jackson Gap right now. I've said this too many times, but I'm hoping that it lifts. But if it doesn't, this warning is in effect all the way up to Daviston, Alabama, and we've got to be prepared for what this thing's going to do all the way up through there. J Pasca Frogs, dude, I cannot say your name. Thank you so much though for becoming a member. I really appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome. Yeah, and we've got a live view of some of the damage in Selma here, which I think that's frozen again, but you can get the gist here. Selma took a very hard indirect hit. Also, here's a picture from somebody in Alexander City of the hail. So not only you know, is little pieces of debris likely falling from the sky out here, but we've got hail as well. Major hailstorm getting ready to work into New Site, Alabama as well, in areas just north of Jackson's Gap. When is this tornado going to go away? This is nuts. How long do we have a number? Like, how long is this path? Like, I think it's lifted a couple of times. Like, this is crazy. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey Ryan, to the best of my ability, now a few minutes ago, or like 5 or 10 minutes ago, it was shared that it was on the ground for about 36 miles. So I'd say it's probably traveled 40 miles now because yes, it is still on the ground. It is a very tight signature now. I'm watching it from the Montgomery radar. It gives you a much better look at it.
All right. Thank you so much, meteorologist Andy Hill. 40 miles is crazy. And the storm as a whole, this specific storm that we are looking at here, we've been tracking it for, I mean, just a very long time. So it's nuts. And yes, it still is on the ground here north of Jackson's Gap. We are just going to stop assuming that it's ever not going to be on the ground, and we're going to continue to be in our safe spots. Thankfully, it's in a little bit less of a populated area, but it's still in an area that could definitely, we could see more damage reports from communities like Sessions, Topeka, Zana, Denver, Hampton, Butson, and Davidston in Alabama. This is the tight little rotational couplet right here. That's where the tornado is. And this is where it's going. It's going right towards Eagle Creek in Alabama. Take shelter now. Cat Bryant, Drew Driscoll, thank y'all. I do need to get up with Chris. Hey, Chris. Obviously, we haven't got to talk a bunch, but I was just wondering what your plans are, where you're going. Obviously, we're going to help you figure that out, but have you heard anything so far about where you're going and anything like that? So Chris Hall is on his way down there to help us do the Y'all Squad Shows Up thing. So I'm just interested in hearing what his thoughts are right now. Usually what he'll do.
No, not yet, Ryan. I just walked in my house. I'm packing clothes. Usually I have a suitcase with me, and I didn't pack anything for this chase because it's overperformed this time. But yeah. As of right now, your guess is as good as mine. We'll just have to figure that out whenever we get down that way.
All right. So I'm glad to hear that Chris is actually packing clothes. Anyways, what he's going to do is he's going to go down there to Selma and to some of these areas that just got hit by this tornado. He's going to assess what's going on. We're going to take all the generosity from you guys that we've been getting from the website, and we're just going to go help people. That's what we do. Like, it's not we're not a charity. We're not like a 501c. It's not anything like that. It's simply just like, hey, like, what do you need? Like, you know, Chris or I or somebody will go down there and be like, what do you need? You need a generator? Okay, we'll go buy it for you. You need food? You need water? Okay, we'll go buy it for you. In some cases, and like we've done this before, in some cases, oh, you need a new car? Okay, we'll buy it for you. And it's simply because of your all's involvement here. All the profits from the merch site are going to go to that for today. So if you want to help out with that, you don't have to. You do not have to. We're going to do this regardless if anybody goes and buys anything or not. Like, we're going to go do this. But if you want to help us do it even better, you can go to shopryanhall.com and get you a sticker. Get you a little sticker. It's at the top of the website, and you can pick your price on it. If you don't want anything else, you can pick your price on it, and all the profits from that will go towards what we're going to be doing down here. And of course, there's a lot of profit on a sticker, especially if you pay more than like $5 for it. Like, it doesn't cost much to make a sticker. So that's the whole point around that. No red tape, no BS. That's the whole thing. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning now for Chambers County, Alabama. It's important to remember that these severe thunderstorm warnings are going to be very, what should I say? Are going to be very dangerous as well. Whenever the tornado threat eventually dies down, it's not over. The severe winds are going to continue to be a huge problem. Here is I-65 north of Prattville. The driver was trapped but not injured. These photos are from Derek Freeman. They sent them into James Spann there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Got a new tornado warning for Covington County, Alabama. And that's way down here. Near Evergreen and Red Level and Nat in Alabama. So take shelter now if you're over there. We did have a tornado warning earlier near Macon, Georgia. That has been allowed to expire. Sorry, I haven't been able to shift my focus around as much. We've been kind of locked in on this tornado, which first dropped back here and has been on the ground for this amount of time. That's nuts. Andrew Lott, thank you, man.
A new tornado warning has been
We
issued.
got a new tornado warning for Baldwin County, Georgia, and Jones County, Georgia. And that's a radar indicated warning there. Atlanta, I see a lot of people in the chat are asking about Atlanta. You're not under any warning yet, but this part of the line is about to go through Atlanta. I'm hoping that we're not going to have to worry much about a tornado situation out there. But obviously you're under a tornado watch and we've got to watch it closely. We will be focusing on Atlanta as the storms get closer to you, I promise. We've got to see this through. I mean, the storm is still producing a tornado up here near Sessions, Alabama right now. It'll be interesting to see if it crosses the state line, becomes a dual state tornado here. But hopefully, I mean, I can only call out these town names so often. We've literally everybody in front of the storm has had the most ample warning that you could just about ever get for a tornado. Like it doesn't get any more like you were well warned than this. Like these are the kinds of storms that while they are the most dangerous, they are definitely the most deadly a lot of the times. They are the easiest to kind of get ahead of and be like, hey, like take shelter, like even like way downstream. I feel like we were telling people in some cases 30 minutes to an hour before the tornado even got to them that it was coming. So, once again, Butson, Hampton, and Denver, you're in the path of this tornado. If you haven't gotten to shelter yet, for whatever reason, you need to get there now. Jay, thank you. I just got the most incredible, I think, image of this tornado that you'll see. I've retweeted on Twitter. I don't know if I have permission to share it. I've just asked them. So we'll see if I can show it on stream here. But if you don't want to wait for that, go to Twitter and look at my most recent retweet. That this reminds me of like the tornadoes that we saw in Alabama in 2011. It reminds me a lot of the 2012 tornadoes. I mean, this is going to be a higher than an EF3 for sure. That's nuts. I'm honestly just speechless. Normally I would just show it, but I feel like this guy is a storm chaser. And for whatever reason, storm chasers get really mad whenever I show their stuff. So I'm in his DMs. I'm like, hey, can I show this so that people in Butson like take shelter? Because if you saw this and you're not in your shelter right now, you would get there after seeing this. It's got horizontal vortices, the tentacles that come out of the tornado. I mean, like it's just nuts. If you're just now tuning in, we are doing live severe weather coverage for just a catastrophic storm system that is unfortunately
A new
caused
tornado warning
significant
has been
damage.
issued.
And unfortunately, I would be very surprised if there are no casualties, nothing like that. We don't know anything about that yet, but we'll keep you updated as time goes on. Scanner is going crazy with damage reports. I don't think I'm a competitor. I don't do storm chasing. So I don't know why a storm chaser would see me as a competitor. That does not make any sense. The rotation on that has let up some. I'm going to go check in on this storm over here near Macon, Georgia. I'm going to put the velocity on. So there's definitely rotation with this storm, but boy, is that a different picture than what we've been seeing off to the west. Definitely don't want to demean it. Definitely don't want to say that we shouldn't take this seriously. But, I don't see any sign that there's a tornado down right now. It could happen. I mean, we know how tremendously primed the atmosphere is right now for tornadoes. But, yeah, this is coming in towards Gray, Georgia right now. You got to take shelter. Blunsville, Fortville, Morton in Georgia, please take shelter now, as this could turn into something very significant very quickly. Oh my goodness. This thing is still rotating like crazy. It looked like it was trying to calm down for like 2 seconds. And then now it's trying to do something again. So we might see this recycle as it's going through Butson right now for anybody who missed it. And then it'll go through Denver, Frog Eye, Bosworth, and Shiloh. Please take shelter immediately. This is going to be a rough one. Keep us with you, and we'll get through this together. Pay for it like the Weather Channel would. Hey, I would gladly pay for it, but how am I supposed to pay for it? Like I pay, like all these storm chasers right here. Like I'm paying all of them like a lot. I just like if when it comes to like if there's a tornado on the ground, all right, and like it's going towards the city, and you're a storm chaser and you post it on social media and you did that for money only, that's dumb. That's dumb. Like I feel like there should be a way that we can figure out how to let me show it, let James Spann show it, let whoever show it, and then worry about the money later. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. But you guys can see it anyways. And that specific tornado will hopefully soon not be something that we're actively trying to track down anyways. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning out here near Marion, Troutdale, and Jefferson. We got that tornado warning out here in Georgia as well for Baldwin and Jones County. And we still have the radar confirmed tornado warning out here just to the east of Alexander City. As this is the the big tornado that could, and it just does not want to give up. Now we got this tornado getting ready to come into Tiller Crossroads, Bosworth, Shiloh, Trammell Crossroads. We're going to see it come into Milltown, Rock Fence, Chapel Hill, White Plains, Doublehead, Welch, Coombe Mill, Finley, Standing Rock, 5 Points, and all these places in eastern Alabama. Take shelter now. This is the same tornado that has caused the tremendous damage that we've been looking at throughout the rest of the state here. Wow. So this is a lot of the debris. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys this again. My program is not letting me do it, so I'll just show it. This is a lot of the debris that was picked up around Selma. I want you to watch. Andy just did a great job explaining this. I had to go fix something, or I would have kept up while he was doing it. But so the tornado went through Selma, picked up tons of debris, flung it 20,000 feet into the air, and then you can literally see it transfer up into the forward flank of the storm. Look at this. This is pieces of Selma in the sky, all the way up here, miles away. Oh my God. Look at that up here. You can still see it there. That is something that I think the last time we saw anything even close to that was Mayfield. That's nuts. This tornado is still producing new debris here south of Wadley. All the old debris is floating on up here. Still pieces of Selma, pieces of some of these other smaller communities are still in the sky. As that tornado put them up 25,000 feet in the air or so. More damage from Selma. Jeez, man. The debris has gone close to 80 miles. Oh, so the Storm Prediction Center has upgraded the tornado risk today to a 10% hatch zone out in front of this. So the thing is like we might not be, we might not even be close to being done with this. Like these storms are going to have to make it into Georgia. They're going to have to make it past Atlanta pretty much, and past Americus, and they're going to have to make it past that black circle before we can say, okay, the tornado threat is significantly lower, which is nuts. Crazy. Are we getting food? Okay. All right. Do you know when? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm hungry. How long have we been going? 5 hours. Okay. This hatch zone was put out 10 hours late. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, this is I really hope that you know, and I believe obviously James Spann country, James Spann killed it. National Weather Service always kills it. But I really hope that people weren't caught off guard, because like usually whenever you see tornadoes like that, there's a lot of talk about it the day before and leading up to it. So, but the good news is that we, I think that the warnings and everything, especially from the National Weather Service, have been like on top of it. Like everybody's done a great job today, including. Wait, did the lights go green? Oh, Andy, do you want to talk to me? Because you can.
No, I didn't. That was the severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh,
Ryan.
okay. Sorry. I thought I saw green. It was yellow.
No problem.
All right. So we got a new considerable severe thunderstorm up there. By the way, all these places are under considerable severe thunderstorm warnings. Elmore County, Macon County, Montgomery County, and Tallapoosa County in Alabama. Also, Butler County, Covington, and Crenshaw counties, Alabama. Also, Chambers County, Alabama, all under considerable severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We also have a couple tornado warnings out there. We got a radar confirmed tornado warning for Chambers and Randolph County in Alabama. And then we've got that radar indicated warning for Covington and Baldwin and Jones County. Covington counties in Alabama, Baldwin and Jones counties are in Georgia. Kathy Osborne says, if you get to Selma, please contact Cog Hill Farm. Her granddad has a tree in his house and don't know what he might need. Well, we will definitely get to them. We'll take down that information and we'll do what we can. Thank you for that. Obviously, there's like a lot of emergency services, that are out there, already helping. Like that, they will be the first line of defense in a situation like this. What we try to do is help go down there and do things that maybe other traditional resources wouldn't do, and help out people maybe who were just looked over or forgotten about. It's one of the beautiful parts of not doing it in the traditional manner. My goodness. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey Ryan, I don't have anything incredibly pertinent right now weather-wise, but I do have something important to say, and that's that we just watched. I have it confirmed now. It's over 55 miles path length for the single tornado. I think that was after it had lifted from Selma and then dropped again near Independence, to the best of my research. So we watched a tornado on the ground for 55 miles straight, do some significant damage, and there's still 44,000 people here right now. So all of y'all, there are thousands of you more than likely with severe storm anxiety, and this may be enough just watching it happen to someone else, many people who are in the line. So make sure you're
Hey
taking care of
Ryan, it's
yourselves.
Chris.
Take a break from
Finally on the
watching the
road.
coverage if you need to,
I
but
have
if
the
you know somebody in the
GPS set up
line,
for
you're
Selma. It
staying
says
tuned to
I'm
get
9
information to
hours
them,
out, so we
then
have
do
plenty
your
of
best to stay
time
tuned
to
with us.
figure out anything we need to do by tonight.
All right. Thank you, Andy and
Yeah.
Chris. We are that what Andy just said is extremely important. Make sure you're not getting overwhelmed by what's going on here. Take breaks and take a break for water and food, like I'm getting ready to. But we are going to continue to cover this intensely as we go forward. Because once again, the tornado watch goes all the way out into Georgia, and we've got still a couple tornado warnings out there. Nothing crazy. I really do think that the big storm that had the big debris ball, the PDS warnings, and all that stuff. That's something that we're going to continue to watch, and that storm's going to continue to cause problems. But that we no longer have a confirmed tornado on the ground anywhere, from what I can tell. All right, we're going to see new tornado warnings pop up. We're going to see continue to see that, but right now we're all radar indicated. But you need to take shelter if you are in any of the counties that are listed down there at the bottom of the screen. Here's some of the damage. Mobile County, north of Mobile. So this is near Movico. So this is that completely separate storm that we were watching while the tornado emergency was happening to the north. And even it has done just incredible damage over there. So just a lot of Alabama is hurting this evening or this afternoon. And we're going to hear more about that as time goes on. Obviously, the first thing you do after you get hit by a tornado isn't take a picture of it and, put it on Twitter. When people do get to that, though, we're going to hear a lot more about it, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on out there. And by the way, just really quick, just want to show this. Just from me I can't talk for 6 hours and then try to talk. Just from me mentioning it 2 times here, the Y'all Squad has come together, and we've raised, we've done $17,000 in sales here. So we're going to be able to take that with us as we go to Alabama over the next couple of days, and we try to help out those people down there. So the reason I'm showing this isn't to pat ourselves on the back or be like, oh, look at how cool we are. It's just simply to promote it. Now that I'm saying this again, we'll probably have 25,000, and if in 30 minutes, if I mention it again, we'll probably have 30,000. So it's something that I have to do. If we could go down there and help people without ever mentioning a word about it, that's the way we would do it. But I'm a YouTuber. The way I do anything is by talking about it on YouTube. So thank you for everybody who understands and knows why we do this and supports. That's awesome that we are able to do that. Like, it's unbelievable, honestly. And you can, shopryanhall.com. The mods will have a link in there. Top of the page. This is what it looks like. The sticker Any of the other stuff, you don't care about any of the other stuff, just get the sticker. And obviously, you don't have to do that. If all you did today was like the stream, share it, send it to somebody you care about, you've done just as much. And we appreciate all of you. I really do appreciate you. We currently have 4 tornado warnings, and Andy's going to give us an update here. Go ahead.
Hey Ryan, I think that as unfortunate as it is, this is exhibiting now an impressive bookend vortex structure near 5 Points, Alabama. That's our, the long track storm we've been watching. Still going now that it's actually changed form from a supercell to an embedded supercell in the line. And now I think it's actually a proper bookend vortex, which is when it takes that comma shape. So it goes up and around like that and we could see a strong velocity coupling near 5 Points in Stroud, Alabama. That's going to cross into the cross the Georgia border and head north of Lagrange towards Hogansville along I-85. So we're still watching that. I'm looking at that from the Atlanta radar, and in case you want to switch over to that. So still a storm of concern.
All right. Thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill, bringing our attention back to once again, the big storm that could. It's not wanting to give up here. So many things have happened to this storm that I feel like should have toned it down a little bit. But here we are, still seeing an intense velocity couplet here on the radar as this moves past 5 Points. It's going to go up towards Welch and Standing Rock next. And then they've already issued a new tornado warning for LaGrange, Hogansville, the Crossings, Glen, and Turkey Point in Georgia. So this went almost completely across the state of Alabama, and now it's knocking on Georgia's door. So just another crazy tidbit of information that is just mind blowing to me, and hopefully helps put it into perspective how widespread and serious this situation is. This storm is trying again to produce another tornado, a big one here near 5 Points, Alabama. So if we are in Glen, Turkey Point, the Crossings, Hillcrest, Asta Village, Hogansville, any of these places between 5 Points and Hogansville in Alabama and Georgia, take shelter now. Andy, go on.
Yeah, Ryan, I called that just in time. Now there's a tornado debris signature as of about 20 seconds ago.
All right. Thank you very much, Andy. Let's we're going to zoom back in. We had a brief moment there where we could breathe. Now we're going to zoom back in here and get intensely focused on covering this nonstop tornado here. There we go. A new big tornado has formed here, and it's on the ground just to the south and east of Stroud, and it's moving towards Evansville. This is a dangerous tornado. I'm sure that the National Weather Service is probably going to issue a new PDS warning or a radar confirmed warning at the very least. But let's not wait on them. Okay, let's go ahead. There it is. Let's go ahead and get into our safe spots now, like your life depends on it. We got a confirmed tornado warning for Chambers and Randolph County in Alabama, and that's going to go on for the next little bit. Now, of course, our sounds and our graphics aren't working correctly, but you've got the information. That's what we're dealing with here. I'm going to do a little bit of the mesoscale stuff just to kind of get you updated on where this is. Points, Alabama, and just to kind of give you an update on where it's going, where it is, and all that stuff. So let me pull this up. Wow. I'm trying to orient myself here. Give me just a second. This is a big one. It's going towards Evansville. on the border of Alabama and Georgia.
New information, this tornado warning has been
There it is.
upgraded.
It's a PDS warning now. All right, so right now, at this very moment, this tornado is on the ground near the Sweet Home Baptist Church. It's a PDS tornado. This is a life-threatening, dangerous, damaging tornado, probably just as big as the ones that we've been looking at pictures of from earlier. This is definitely one of the ones that you need to run, not walk, to shelter for, and you've got to get there fast. All right. Right now, it's near that Sweet Home Baptist Church. It's going to go by the A&E Lakeside Petro Marathon gas station and the Evansville recreation area. This is getting ready to go over a huge campground, and just like this big lake, and there's just all kinds of parks and RV areas around it. It should go without saying, but it's very important that the people out here around Evansville abandon trailers. You do not want to be in a tornado in a trailer. You would rather be in a ditch. And I'm not joking. Like, being in a mobile home is the worst thing you could possibly do, especially an RV on wheels or something like that. We've got to go. A lot of these recreation areas have buildings, bathrooms, kind of like community like recession centers. You got to get to one of those. You've just got to find more sturdy shelter if you just happen to be in a place like that. I don't know how many people are camping in January down here, but like, if that's happening, we've got to get to a much safer spot. And we got to get there fast, because this storm has a history of producing catastrophic damage, not just like regular tornado damage. We're talking about very, very bad, serious damage, and that's possibly getting ready to happen here near the Evansville recreation area within the next couple of minutes. All right. And then it's going to cross over the lake, going to cross over West Point Lake on one of the northwestern forks right along the Alabama Georgia line, and it's going to head towards GRC Computers, Freeman Cemetery, and then of course towards Blinds ETC.
New information, this tornado warning has been upgraded.
All right, so now they have went ahead and upgraded that tornado warning in Heard County and Troup County, Georgia, to PDS as well. So this is officially going to cross from Alabama into Georgia as a PDS tornado, which means that it's just a large, violent tornado. It's more than likely going to be one of the higher end EF ratings. Okay, obviously I can't tell you what that is. We determined those after the tornado happened. Yeah. Anyways, right here is where that tornado is. The big blue dot, that's indicating that there is debris in the air. Pieces of, trees, the pieces of dirt, ground, like leaves, whatever it is, are up in the sky, and the radar knows that they shouldn't be there. So it drops the correlation coefficient. And that's what we see here. We see that drop, and that's how we know where the tornado is. We can see a little bit better of a view here. And the tornado is pretty much over Standing Rock right now, and it's moving into the Evansville area. As of right now, I think that the tornado, a more exact location as to where it is on the northern side of that lake, once again, near the Friendship Baptist Church. It's going to go through Thrift Deck. If you know where the Thrift Deck is, the tornado is pretty close to that. And it's going to go up towards Antioch. All right. And of course, the Estes Grocery, if you know where that is, the tornado is going to come dangerously close to that. Really, if you're anywhere near West Point Lake, like this whole lake is kind of like just positioned perfectly to be in the path of this thing, especially on the northern side. If you're in Yellow Jacket Creek Park, if you're in the Yellow Jacket Creek recreation area, if you're up there towards West Point WMA, or the Georgia Wildlife Management area, this tornado is coming towards you, man. It's going to come, and you've got to be ready for it. More, farther down the road, This is going to impact places like the Crossings, Hillcrest, Grayson's Landing, and Hogansville in Georgia. Okay, this is in Georgia. Right now, the tornado is in Alabama. It's getting ready to cross the Alabama state line into Georgia here within the next couple of minutes. This is the state line. This is the tornado. Okay, it's probably right now half in Alabama and half in Georgia. So that's what we're looking at there. And the next people in line are going to be in Antioch. I hope I'm saying that right. Antioch, something like that, in Georgia, as the tornado crosses. It pretty much is going to parallel West Point Lake on the northwestern side. And if you were in Yellow Jacket Creek Park right now, first of all, I'd hate that to know that anybody's there, but you probably have a view of this thing. You could probably see it. I don't